New Heights. My name is Michael Hicks, the host with the most. Super excited to chat with on today's topic. I'm bringing back a wonderful guest who's the actual female version of Live to Thrive. Um, she embodies the mind piece, the body piece, and the soul piece, the purpose piece. Amber Dobson, welcome back to the show.
Hi.
Oh, you're very talkative. All right, since you're so talkative, I'm going to get into a word from our sponsors as my microphone drops. Can't sleep, got the aches and pains. Well, you guys, guess what? You got to check out the CBD oil, and guess what? It is Amish tested. It's got this proven formula. If you got aches and pains, and you're just struggling with sleep. In fact, you use this product, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell the customers what you think, or the clients, or the listeners, I should say. Now,
People. Tell
what,
the
what,
people. I use the CBD drops. And are they the THC CBD ones? I can't remember.
yeah, it's the CBD ones. Or
Yeah.
no, there's no THC. It's CBD.
Yeah, they're great. I use them for sleep. And
Yeah, you just put 9 drops underneath your tongue. How many do they tell you to put underneath your tongue?
they don't say. They
Okay.
say like an amount, which
Yeah,
I
I've used 9 drops, and that works best for me. 9 to 10. Um, I hope this doesn't fall.
it's like a tincture. Like a so you use like one tincture. Like
Yeah, yeah, but you don't want to do it all at once. It's kind of got a weird taste, doesn't it?
it tastes like marijuana.
Oh, okay.
I think it has THC in it. It's-
I
it's-
thought it had CBD on. CBD on it.
I think
Okay.
it has
Well,
both.
regardless of the fact, if you guys want to get better quality sleep and um get rid of the aches and pains, like truly, it is awesome, and you can get 50% off at checkout. All you got to do is go to envitamins.com. That's En Vitamins, and use promo code New Heights. That's all cap locks, and you get 50% off at checkout. And my last sponsorship is my Live to Thrive agency, where what I do is I empower you to become the best version of yourself through your mindset, through your body, and discovering purpose. I'm a fitness trainer and a mindset trainer all in one, and you get the wonderful package of having me for 90 days or 120 days. And in fact, I got 2 spots open. If you are interested in learning more, you can set up a journey call by just simply going to my bio page, getting that all information. All that being said, let's jump into our topic tonight, Amber Dobson, or as I call you, babe. The topic for today is a lot for parents, and you and I have really kind of felt the heat on this topic, and I was brainstorming it with you, and you're like yeah, this would be a good topic to talk about. But today's topic is the end of the school year, right? And it's approaching. When this drops, it'll be mid-June, and for most of you, kids will be out, and for some of you, maybe not, but almost there. But the parent survival guide, right? The extra spirit days, right? You got the kindness day. You've got the wear tie dye day. And I'll get into that story here in a little bit. But you get all these wonderful days that add stress to single parents. And like, what if you're not well off? What if you don't have the ability like me to run to Walmart 3 times and buy a bunch of stuff, and hopefully one thing sticks?
You
What do you
know,
do?
you know
Right?
what they call this month, right?
No, what do they call it?
They call Maycember because it's like December but in May with all the things going on.
Yeah.
All the moms, not to discriminate against dads, but all the moms talk about Maycember, and there's like reels about it and memes about the craziness of Maycember. And I think parents feel it, especially now.
Yeah, and even these, you said it well. It's like May. What did you call it? May December.
They call it Maycember. It's like
Yeah, with no
all
presents
the
though, right? With no
well,
presents.
yeah, it's all the craziness of like the holidays and like the end of the year, but it's in May and
Yeah.
it's all the last minute, you know. school concerts and end of year picnics, and then they squeeze
Field days.
the field days and the field trips, and like then there's graduations and people moving from elementary to middle and middle to high school. Like it's
And
self.
doing a parade. Why? I don't know. For fourth grade, graduated into fifth grade. I have no idea. But okay. You remember when we were kids? Man, you were just ready to start summer. Well, how much? Like, you have kindergarten graduation now. You have, well, the district that my kid's in, fourth grade graduation. Then the next thing is eighth grade graduation. And then the next thing is graduating from high school.
Yeah.
Like, where does it stop?
Well, and I know for my kids' school, which great, but they ask for parent volunteers and then parents feel bad if they can't. And it's like, parents have to work. Like last time I checked, like I have a full-time job and lucky enough I've been able to take off to chaperone a field trip or leave for an hour or so of work to go help, at recess or in the classroom or all of this stuff. But it's like, and then you kind of get shamed. Maybe that's what you feel. At
Yeah,
least
how do you
I,
get shamed? I don't think you get shamed. I think that's just what parents feel, though. They feel the pressure.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's like so much going on. I mean, and it kind of sneaks up like literally my daughter's school district, she's got this list. There was like a list. There was a day. Each day had a theme. And I should have brought that in here for a visual. But it literally was like kindness day, ice cream day, field day. Um, and plus let's just take a moment right now and bless the teachers that have to run these events from like field day. And then you get probably people that are full of criticism or full of negativity that say something. It's just like, so shout out to all the teachers that are busting their tail at the end of the year. This is a really stressful time of the year for y'all. I feel your pain. I understand it. But hey, let's just talk about how it sneaks up on you, right? Even it happens every single year. And like the spirit week fatigue, you know what I mean? Like you heard the whole story, and I want to share the story with you guys. So apparently my daughter's at school, and I think she's at a great school. I'm not. It's not. It's just a lot of. And then even the. Can we even talk about this? The fundraisers. I don't know how many fundraisers you have in your kids' schools, but it's like almost every week there's some kind of fundraiser to have a fundraiser. Like, where does it stop?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Like seriously, can we just stop about like one thing, one thing. That's it, one thing. But I want to talk about this. So it was Spirit Week fatigue, and it's like, so the school did this. They wanted to do a tie dye thing. I know you know the story, but I don't think my listeners know the story. Well, the tie dye happened to the day they were going to do it, and they were all going to do it outside. It rained, so it then left up to the parents to tie dye. Well, what if you are a divorced parent, me, you, and our kids are in different households? Well, their mom, Noah's mom, did an amazing job. However, when they undid it and washed it, it didn't turn out. So where does that pressure go back to? Back to dad's house. Now, mind you, this was done on. So I'm recording this episode. Today's what, Thursday? So this happened on a Monday. Didn't work out. I get my daughter on Tuesday. So Tuesday, my daughter's got volleyball camp. And at the end of volleyball camp, it's late. And she's hungry, so we go eat. Then we come home. Now it's time to get ready to go to bed. How did I have time to make a tie-dye shirt? Because technically, how you do a tie-dye shirt, I didn't know this because I had to watch videos and everything. I'm not an art teacher by any means, but you make the tie-dye, well, you rubber band it, right? you tie dye the shirt with the colors, and then you let it sit for 24 hours. And after 24 hours, you're supposed to wash it and then dry it again. Well, I didn't have any time.
Yeah.
So we did one of the steps. And now, mind you, let me explain this to everybody that's listening. Our kiddos, my kiddo especially, Dad, you don't understand. This is like everybody's got the tie dye. We got to have this tie dye. You guys like my tan line, by the way. You got to have the tie dye, and we got to do it this way, and it's got to be this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I feel it. I feel the angst. I feel anxiety because it's all coming out of me. So now, while this is all going on with my daughter, I decide to go to Walmart and get a tie dye kit, 3 shirts, plain. I didn't know what she likes because girls don't like what dads pick out. I had to get options, and then I bring it home. Well, we didn't have time to do tie dye, so now it's the following day. Now it's Wednesday. Wednesday comes, and I'm like, okay, we're not going to tie dye. I'm going to go back to Walmart and I'm going to get some tie dye shirts. Listeners, that wasn't good enough. I brought home 2 tie-dye shirts and 2 shorts that matched it. I thought, man, Dad for the win. Dad's winning all the
I
way.
had to stay on the we were on the phone and I had to stay on the phone because I needed to hear the response. Because having a girl, I knew that it was either going to be like perfect, like he nailed it, or it was going to be like, well, it's just not what I wanted, really. It's just not what I wanted it to be, but whatever. I guess my whole day will just be ruined. And that
And that's what it
I
was. So yeah. You were on the phone and I pretended like I didn't know you were on the phone.
I
I don't know if you
know.
caught that. Oh, you're still on the phone? Yeah. Um, so so I show her this, I reveal it, and she was okay with it, right? She was like, okay, Dad. But then we got home, and then it really hit her. She's like, Dad, this is not going to look like everybody else, and I won't even be in the picture. Be in the picture for not having the right tie dye? You know.
Like
Okay,
in her brain, like that's just like what like she would be in the picture no matter what.
of
But like,
course.
yeah. Hmm.
So
They're big deals.
it's a big deal. So she comes home, and by the way, parents, I'm in the transformation stage of my little girl. Used to wanting to love Dad, love you tons, giving me hugs, and now she got this Facebook Messenger, and she's now got friends on her list, and she created a group called Gossip Girls, which I had to have a conversation about that. That's another topic for another time. But she had to go do that, and then she came out and she's like, "Dad, can I borrow your headphones?" Because they were cutting grass next door. She wanted to listen to music because she created a music. By the way, you guys, please subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel. Um, I'll put it in the description. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but she wants subscribers. So she's attempting to be like Dad, which I think is pretty cool. But she creates videos and stuff. But I digress. But anyway, she asked. She's like, Dad, can I get headphones? Because she's got a YouTube channel now and she's got a playlist. So I like okay. So I got all my sweaty headphones from the gym, which don't stink, by the way. They don't stink
Oh,
because
you're
you gave me the new earpiece things. They smell really good still. And I've been working out with a hoodie on, so I put them over the hoodie so they don't smell. Okay. Anyway, I hope that was really good for information for you guys. So she's outside listening to me. She's tie dye. She's doing a really good job. I'm in getting supper ready, and as she's doing it, she's loving it. She's doing a really good job. Got these bottles. She came in. She put it with water. She's like, Dad, these are supposed to sit for 24 hours. I go, I don't care if they got to sit for 24 hours. They're gonna be ready now. So put them in, shake it up, go to work. That was another thing. There's another thing. If you buy these tie-dye kits, it's like a 4-day deal, y'all. It's like 4 days. No. But let me just get to the piece here. Then you can chime in here. Is so she's outside. She does it. She puts it together. It's really cool. I was like, wow. She got the rubber bands on it, and I was like, oh, cool. So she brought it in. We let it stay in the sun. I cut the lawn. Then we played a little pepper with my daughter, and then we came in, and I was like, I go as she's getting ready for bed. I'm like, do you want me to take off the rubber bands? She said, no, Dad, we'll do it in the morning. Now I knew in my head, still gonna be wet, right? Still gonna be wet. So I listened to her. I let her do her thing, and she got out in the morning, and she's like, "Dad, it's still wet." I go, "We'll fix that. We'll get the hair dryer, the one that I gave you that I never used, that you use when you're over here." And she did it. She sat there and blow dried it. She wore it to school. Haven't heard anything. It was a win. So I'll just say this really quick. As we're driving to school, I said to her, I said, you know, you got all worked out for all of this stuff, and it still worked out. Mind you, we were playing her YouTube channel. You know what her response was? I told you this, but I'm going to tell my listeners. You know what her response was after I asked her that or said that to her? Dad, can you just turn up the volume? I want to listen to this song on my YouTube channel. I don't want to talk about it. Noted. That's where I'm at now. That's where I'm at. So anyway, what do you got to add for that?
I mean, that was quite the story.
Did you get the full story? I thought I told you the full story.
You did. You did. I just heard it again. I think I think it highlights, like, yes, these days are fun in theory for the kids. I think they're exciting, but what it does to someone like your daughter, or maybe other kids similar to her that have similar mindsets and similar personalities, it does put a lot of added stress onto them that's really unnecessary. Whereas someone like my daughter was like that, but my son, he could care less about these days. He I'm like, "Dane, wear the shirt." He's like, "I don't wanna wear the shirt. The shirt's dumb. I don't like the shirt." "Okay, fine." He'll wear it for the picture, and he takes the shirt off. Like, he does not participate in these days, and he doesn't care, and it does not bother him that he's one of the only ones that doesn't do it. So, I do think it really depends on the mentality of the child, but it is very stressful. And sometimes these requests come in like at the 11th hour, and we're running out to Walgreens or Walmart or Kohl's to like pick up something last minute. And it's just a lot. And why is it all in May? Like, can we not do it in April? Like, can we like space it out?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
she prone to
I
feel
I don't. I agree. It's like, oh wait, it's mismatched sock day or pajama day, or wait, it's both. How's that going to work? You know, or when you live in different households too, then you come into the situation of like, well, I want to wear dad's pajamas or I
yeah,
want to wear mom's pajamas. Oh, so we got to go get those. Oh, can you please make sure to bring them? So
but
it's like another
it's
pressure, right?
and then like my kids already have so much going on. Like you already have that, and then it's a phy ed day. So you maybe didn't wear your tennis shoes to school because they didn't go with mismatched socks. So now you have to pack your tennis shoes. And then after school, you have basketball. Like it's too much. It's too many things. Like I carry like literally, I'm not even joking. I have 4 different sports bags in my hallway at all times. Like it's that plus then all of these things, and then the choir concert had another shirt, and you had to wear black shoes and black pants, and they Blake was like, "I don't have black shoes," and I'm like, "Well, then just wear other shoes." "No, they have to be black." I'm like, "They don't have to be," and I'm the mom that's like, "I don't care, like, they don't need to be black, like, no one's gonna tell you you can't do your concert," but then I go get her the dang black shoes.
Yeah, we do because I think I may and parents, you can chime in on the comments, please, or say something about this. But I feel like we as parents, especially I think from single parent families, is like, and I mean, I don't mean that they don't have another parent, but what I mean is like, okay, one day or 50% of the time they're here, 50% of the time they're at the other parent. Is it's like where do they? I just lost my train of thought. But
I
where? Go
get
ahead.
what you were gonna say because this is where my mind went. But when you're alone in a house and your kid or kids are questioning like the decision you're making, you don't have that other adult in the house with you to either support your decision and like reinforce that with your kid and be like, no, mom's right or dad is right. Like it's gonna be okay. Or be like, or maybe suggest something different like, "No, mom, I can go out and get this for our daughter. Like, you stay home with the kid," whatever. So it's just you, and so if you're questioned about it, you at least for me, I'm like, "Oh, I then I really should make this right. I should really just fix it."
Well, no, that's what I was gonna say. Where my thought came back is like we just want to be the best parent of the 50% of the time that we get because we don't get to see them all the time. So we want to appease them. We want to make them happy. But it comes with a lot of stress behind it. It's like all these themed activities and no, I need to bring a pair of socks for field day because we need an extra pair
Yeah,
or
did an extra outfit because the fire trucks come for my kids' fundraiser walk that they do, and then I didn't pack an extra pair of shoes, and the shoes got wet. So it's like, oh, I remember the extra outfit, but I didn't remember the shoes or a towel. So I basically failed that like whole part. Like I just
well, I don't think it's a matter of failing. It's just it's a lot. It's really a lot. Do you remember any of this when we were coming up? We had great times in school during this time. They didn't have to have this itinerary. It's almost like a
maybe
thesis.
we did,
But
and our parents just did it too. Maybe this is like the unspoken thing that parents just do.
maybe I don't know. I mean I don't know. It's
I
definitely
theme
go.
days.
What's that?
I remember like Spirit Week and Catholic Schools Week and
Yeah,
all. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean just I mean it's a lot. It's a
Mm.
lot. And it's just the emotional toll that it really put on. I mean, it was like, and then that's, as you're driving in the morning, and for many of you, I like to start my mornings with my Bible, with prayer, and then, the one thing that you love the most is stressing out about what I'm going to do for a tie-dye shirt. That's how you start your day. That's that's a lot. And if you don't and a lot of people don't know how to program their mindset and that then affects the rest of their day. So it's like how do you combat that? How do you change that? Like what do you do? You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's one of those things where do you remember when your kids were little and like they would cry when you dropped them off somewhere and you just had to walk away and say goodbye and like know that they would be fine like 5 minutes after you left.
Yeah.
Like my kids cried every time I would drop them off at daycare, like until
Yeah.
they just did every day. I think it's also one of those things like yes, it's hard, but like you got to walk into school and figure it out. Like and face it, if it's not how you wanted it to be, you're going to have to like work through that or maybe phone a friend, switch shirts with someone. I don't know. Kids figure it out.
They do. They're pretty resilient, but it's the whole thing though, being an educator as long as I have is like kids then come to school with baggage, right? And I know for you and I, we want to make sure that baggage is limited because of so much stuff that they have to deal with on top of that. Because I mean, let's be honest, kids are feeling too. Like they have a lot of feelings, and what we believe is not that big of a deal is this whole tie dye thing was huge.
Yeah.
It would be like a major review at your job
For
or
sure.
a major project that we had to do at our business.
Yep.
And that's where the thing where parents, I think, sometimes drop the ball is is they don't really get to the kids level to be like, no, this is just as important as me getting paid or whatever it might be.
It is, but it's also like you think about you mentioned it at the beginning, like some of the kids that don't have parents that take time to look at this stuff, or they don't have like costumes just laying around at home that they can like put together, or they don't have maybe their parent works shift and their grandma's responsible for picking them up in the morning and they're get themselves ready. Like you don't know the circumstances that kids have, and then these kids already know they're going to be different showing up to school for one of these theme days or whatever it might be. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, and I think it's more on the parents though than it is on the kids because the kids are feeling. I mean, I'm not dismissing. Let me just be clear. I'm not dismissing the feelings that our kids have that they have to have these things to be part of the community and the building, and I get all that. But then it falls on the parents to like literally. I bet you I spent on this whole tie dye affair probably $120 because I bought four shirts. No, hold on. No, I bought more than that. I bought five shirts, two shorts, and then a kit. Now, we'll keep the kit. I'm going to return, and she did one shirt. I'm returning everything else. But the point is, there's some parents out there, they cannot do that. So
Right.
now they have to continue to feel embarrassed, left out, poked fun.
Right.
And then that kid on top of it has kind of a grudge on their shoulder when they're going to school. They're probably the bully. They're probably the kid that acts up. They're probably the kid that the teachers don't like. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's a reciprocal. Like, where do you think? Let me ask you this: where's the happy median here? Where do you draw the line on this stuff?
I think so many schools get into, at least this is what I've noticed just having two kids go to the same school, like just repetition. Like this is what they do every year. They keep their uh, calendars the same. Like these are the events that they lay out. They don't do a lot of switching of them. And this is just how it is. Like, this is when the fall concert is and the spring concert. This is when we do all the celebration days for the fifth grade. This is when we do the end of the year picnic. Like, they're, eh, and then they're just like adding in things. My kids had red carpet day where they dress up and they have this, it's actually really a cute thing.
That's in the beginning of the year, right?
No, it was just last week. The kids there's like a teacher helper. He was a parent and he's a professional photographer and he comes and lays out a red carpet and the kids dress up and it's really fun, but it's another thing at the legit end of the year. And it's it, you know, Dane, my he doesn't dress up for it, but he likes it, but
But
he
whatever happened to less is best? Why? Here's the thing. Let's call a spade a spade. Everybody talks about bad things about teachers and educators. I know you're like, no, I think they're great.
I
But
do.
there are a lot of people out there that would just say, oh, they're just a teacher. People don't realize and the amount of work and effort that these teachers put in. In fact, I've had clients of mine that they lose their self identity because they think of every other kid but themselves.
Right.
And but I mean, and then we have all the high demands of, but where like literally, I want to talk about like a thesis. There's like a thesis for the end of the year for these districts. Well, we're gonna have this and we're gonna have that, and you got to be here at this time. And like honestly, I got to get my daughter tomorrow. I thought it was at noon. There, I haven't seen anything, but it's like, and then we got to have a parade, and after the parade, there's a social.
Yep.
Why?
And there's just lots of stuff. It's
But why? Well, why? For fourth grade? Come
uh,
on, district. Come on. What's the like? Hooray! And think about this: the teachers. You know what the teachers are thinking? I'm ready to get the hell out of here. Here's
yeah.
your stuff. Bye. Bye. Don't get me wrong. There's probably some kids that they're gonna miss, but what is the point?
I think it's honoring, like, and making it special, their last year of elementary school, like, leaving. I mean, I understand that they want to do something. They do that those same things, I think, in lots of elementary school,
Yeah, they
like
do.
the
They do.
parade or, like, a bell ringing or a walk around the school and then, like, a whole thingamajig, whatever.
I heard this was pretty cool. I was in the steam at at one of the gyms. It was actually out by you, out in Brookfield, and I was just talking to this guy, and you know how I like to talk to people, get to know people. A lot of people don't like that, but I
You
just
talk to
okay.
people?
What's that?
You talk to people? No way.
Oh, I love talking to people. I like to get to know what they are about. But this guy was telling me, he's like, yeah, we go to their kids go to. It might have been Waukesha. Yeah, it might have been Waukesha North. And his son grew up in the entire school system. So what they did was the Waukesha North kids, the high schoolers, went back to their middle schoolers.
Oh, this was Waukesha North.
Was it? And he
Oh
was telling me
my
about this, and it was like a whole presentation of
god.
how. Yeah, you want to talk a little bit about it? I thought that was really kind of cool.
I only know this because 2 girls that are graduating from Waukesha North used to live in an old neighborhood of mine, and so I'm friends with their parents on social media, and so I saw pictures that they posted of the girls. One of the girls babysat for my kids for a while, um, and how a group of them, it was like 12 kids that all um, graduated, went back to their elementary school together and, like, visited and took pictures and, like, it was cute. It was
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty admirable, right? You've done 12 years in an entire district and then you go back.
yeah.
Like, I think that's definitely notable. Like, I think that I was like, that's pretty cool. But like red carpet days, parade, let's do a parade. Why? Why? And then let's talk about this for a second. So what about the parent or the kid
That their parents aren't there.
or has a hoopty for a car and they're in the parade? Like, you don't think you don't think I remember when I'm a kid. I'll tell you the story right now. We had a hoopty car. I was embarrassed by it. I'd have my mom or my dad, it was my mom. I didn't have a dad. My stepdad never really took me anywhere. But drop me off over here. Never in front of the hoop.
Really?
Yeah, I was too embarrassed. I was too embarrassed. So imagine when we have this parade tomorrow, the pressure that some of these parents are gonna have. The car. Yeah, I even had a conversation with you. I'm like, I got to get my car washed.
Yeah,
When
that's
have, when have I got my car washed?
you should really just be focusing on the inside of your car.
It's not that bad, y'all. It's really not that bad. It's not that bad. Come on, you're making me point it out to me.
I'm
I'm
just
really messed up.
kidding. I'm joke. But it
Yeah.
does need to be cleaned on the inside.
You said you were going to clean it, is what you told me.
I know. I know. I will. I will.
Hey, do you feel that our kids kind of, excluding your son, like I think my it's the comparison trap. Everybody's got the tie dye shirt. I gotta have the exact tie dye shirt. Oh no, that's got writing on it. Is
Yeah.
it the comparison trap that our kids are falling into?
Yeah. 100%. And I'm just here to tell you it does not get better. And it I mean, not just with the tie-dye, I mean, I know we're talking about school stuff, but I think it's for everything, like, just trends and what people have and what they're wearing, and I
You know,
mean, you saw it, like, with the
yeah.
Ugg boots, with the Nike socks, with, like, it's just like, this new trend, I'll just share it on here. All this new trend is little nose rings.
Pierce? No.
Like,
Wait,
I
wait.
would say
What age is this?
6th grade. I would say probably
No.
yeah,
Pierced? Pierced.
piercing, yes. The moms are taking their kids. Like, yes, and my daughter is begging, and I'm like, "No, not now. No." Um, but it's trendy, it's cute, it's trendy, and when one kid starts, then they all do, and then one parent's like, "Yep, that's fine." And then, I mean, like, it's crazy.
So that's where, how do you set up the boundaries then with your kiddos? Like, where do you set it up? Because it's the highlight reels, right? It's the what we see, everything. And then, like, and how do we give parents to
I mean,
permission? Let me just say this. How do we give parents to get permission to let go of guilt? Because I'm sure when your daughter came up to you and said that, you may have felt a little guilty, right?
well, honestly, my response was like, "Well, think about it for your birthday." Like, I'm not gonna just go do something like that, and that's a conversation. I mean, like, I mean, this is not the purpose of this podcast. However, I do feel like the comparison thing is real, and it's especially real for girls. It's especially a thing, and it's really hard.
How do you stop it though? That's just the thing. It's like, yeah,
A
it's
girl
just
has to grow up and learn to be confident in themselves.
yeah.
I think sometimes you have to cave to it because you have to make them feel like they're part of something. And so you do have to cave sometimes to making them feel like they belong. Like,
Yeah.
you remember this too. Like, you wanted the cool shoes because that's what your friends had, or that's what you wanted
No,
because
I had the cheap ones. I remember literally we got shoes at Kmart. I always make fun of you for that. And I remember the shoes that just had the stripes on the side?
no, you always say this to me. I don't
Okay, well they had these shoes, they were like blue, but they had these old school stripes, like they were down. And I had the most stripes, I think it was 4. And I think the popular ones were 3, but I had 4. And I would always say it's because I'm faster than you. I would
see.
literally say, "Oh, we're getting some comments. Let me see. We got a lot of comments in here. Let's see."
Someone said BS, he had the cool shoes.
um,
Uh, I think I believe you didn't have the cool shoes.
I didn't have cool shoes until I got a job. In 8th grade, I had a tonics, tonics. Akeem Dream had these tonics, and they were like they were ugly shoe, but I thought they were cool. I want to go into this part for a second. Is the other you had mentioned this earlier, but I want to go a little bit more into it. Is like how at the end of the year they have all of these events, right? Um, they had a for my daughter, it was going to Madison. It was field trip. It was field trip. It was field trip. And then now tomorrow is a parade. And it's like, okay. Oh, yes, today was bring your lunch to the park and visit with your mom or dad. I told Noah's mom, I said, I I can't go. I gotta work. I literally cannot go. Can you find time to go? She said yes. So she went and spent that 50. Like, I don't understand the mindset. And then on top of that, the next day is a half a day. So then
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
expect parents then on top of that to get off of work to drive through a parade. Like, it's like if you own your own business, you got a little bit more flexibility, but then you're still not making money unless you know what I mean? Like how much stress does that add on top of that? And here's the other thing to this is I want to say this and before I turn it over to you is like, your kiddos are going to remember more of how you were stressed about that situation more than if you missed an event.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's good to be upfront too about it. Like, hey, I know you have this walk today. I'm not going to be able to come because I have a meeting from 2 to 3. And they were like, "Oh, okay." So then it kind of eliminates the questions. Like they're not looking for me cuz a lot of parents come and some don't, but I'm not then setting up an expectation that I'm going to be somewhere that I know I physically can't be. And I have to set boundaries too. Like I am grateful that I have a job that can give me some flexibility to do some of those things, but I can't do everything. Like
Well,
it
that's
just
what I'm saying. Hey, what'd be funny? And I was thinking about this, and I was also looking at our notes when I was thinking about this. Is there'd be no way I could ever do this to my daughter, but I wonder if any parents could do this for Patriot Day. They dress their kid up in Hawaiian and send them to school and say it's. Wouldn't that be funny?
I don't get it.
Okay, so let's say
Oh,
the
oh,
scheduled day is Patriot Day, but the parents like, no, 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 it's Hawaiian Day. She's positive it's Hawaiian Day, so they send them to school Hawaiian Day. Now, I know for
you would
me,
flip.
if I did that, my daughter would have a sob fest. I wonder if anybody's that's listening, if you've ever done anything like that. I really kind of want to know if you could drop it in the comments. If you're live right now, drop it in the comments. We got a few comments already. But drop it in the comments or just send me a DM. I really think, do you think, like, I know I couldn't do it. Could you get away with something like that? I mean, it's kind of funny.
No. No. They wouldn't allow me. They'd be like, "Mom, you can't." Like they think like the police would come. Like
They think the police would come?
like, like you cannot not follow these rules. Like my teacher said, if I hear my teacher
Oh,
said,
isn't it? Yeah. It's like the law.
that's what I'm saying. They think like would break the law, and the police would come and like they'd get arrested if I did something like that. Like,
It's so insane. But I mean, let's give a little credit there though. Like that says that they really respect their teacher. Like that's really awesome. But yeah, you're right. My daughter will come home and be like, "Dad, I got to read for 20 minutes." I go, "You're tired. You have a headache. You're not reading." Yeah, yep. You heard it here on Framing New Heights. I will tell my daughter. She is one of you. You know her, and I don't say this to gloat about her, but she will outwork anybody academically in a second. I'm working on the athletic side, working that little by little right now, and we're getting there. We're getting some progress right now, right? I mean, does that make sense?
yeah.
Um, so as we wrap up today, how can we normalize the chaos of the term that you used, Maysember? How can we how can we normalize this? What are some like
I
things that we could give to single parents, family members, or anybody that's about to go through this process?
I think that For me, what I've done to normalize it is I know the events that I can do that make my kids happy and make me feel like I'm involved. And feel like I'm doing what I can to support them and support the school. And so I've basically just set a boundary with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's big, and I think too is I think we all need to realize and maybe put this in our calendar once December hits is it's going to happen, and encourage parents to. I talk about this often is give grace to yourself and know that it's going to be okay and you're going to get through it. And I need to figure out. I know I coach hundreds of adults on how to manage this stuff, and you and I have this conversation often. Is like, but it's my daughter, like, but it's still not different. Like, give yourself grace and manage them through this process to know that it's not the end of the world. I did my very best to do that with this whole tie dye thing, but at the end of the day, she still made a tie dye shirt on the last second. But that also talks about resiliency too, and like how she persevered.
Yeah. Well, and that she didn't want to talk about it anymore.
It
Like,
was done. It was done.
right. Like, we're not going to talk about that I made it such a big deal. Like, it's over now. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That was pretty remarkable. I like that, and we talked about this. Is good enough is good enough, and man, I honestly feel like I don't like to toot my own horn, but I feel like I had a dad win, and a dad to the rescue, and it sometimes feels good coming from you know a dual house of divorcee parents, and it sometimes feels nice when you could probably speak to this too, is when mom or dad can kind of come in and kind of get them a win, for the process. So, good enough is good enough, and know that we did our very, very best, right?
Yes.
Well, anything you want to add? Any questions in that? Hey, can you read the any questions worth answering in the comments?
No. I mean, as far as the comment, I think, yes, definitely not attempting to put any more pressure on a child to appease a comedy. Like, no, we're not saying to do that. But
I just did it as tongue in cheek as a comment, and you know, I think it just would be funny if there was any parents out there. I would love to hear
there are
because well,
that
yeah, there is because
way.
I've seen this, and I want to talk about this really quick before we get off today. Is the daughters wearing these short Daisy Duke shorts to school? So then, what does the dad do when the bus drops them off? He's got the same kind of shorts waiting at the bus stop for them.
Yeah, that's funny.
That I think that stuff's hilarious. It's hilarious. I want to say this really quick. So tomorrow, my daughter has the end of the year. They got like a pool party, and it's gonna be fun. It's all the fourth graders are doing all this stuff. But I just went into her room to grab the iPad for our notes tonight, and I look, man, she got the jean shorts. She got the jean shorts, and then she got the swim trunks underneath them. My little girl's not getting a little girl anymore. Yeah, that's crazy. And I talked about
And
that. That's probably
talked
time for.
to her gossip girl group about what they're wearing, and that's what they all decided to
I'll
wear
have to look, but I
suits.
don't like the name. I had a conversation with her in the morning about the name. I said we don't gossip. She's like, Dad, I didn't set up the name. Someone else did. I said, well, we don't. Talking about other people is not a quality thing to have. She's like, I know, Dad. So then what I said, parents, please hear me out on this. Is I said, well, you have such a creative, beautiful mind. I think maybe you should come up with some different suggestions. So then I told them about the mascot of the school or mascot for the name of the group. So I gave her the power back to kind of be like, hey, what do we think about this name or whatever? All right. Anything to close out with tonight?
No, no.
Well, here's a toast to everyone surviving another school year. It's officially close to summertime. I love to always say, you know this, me. I don't know if all my audience knows, but Summertime by Kenny Chesney is one of my favorite times during this time of the year. It's beautiful. Have the toes in the sand, enjoying the sun. Sun's out, guns out. I think you had said. I did get some sunburn today, you guys. Amber said that before we went live. So I hope if you are not catching the visual, you got to go to the YouTube channel to do that. As always, Amber, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate that. As always, 1% better in mind, body, and soul. And stay
Flexed.
flexed. Have a good night, everybody.